Hundreds of Israelis killed in Hamas raids. After the dramatic and unprecedented raids inside Israel by Hamas militants, more than 500 people are now thought to have been killed on the Israeli side and more than 100 others kidnapped. Fighting raged at several locations in Israel that were overrun by Hamas in lightning strikes, which started last weekend. How did Hamas pull off such a successful attack? How did Israel react to the raids? What's behind the unusual high casualties? Who could have helped Hamas in this stunning operation? How did the US react to the raids? What is Hamas and what is it fighting for? I am AI Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Let's analyze the stunning attack, which was until now thought impossible. How did Hamas pull off such a successful attack? There was no doubt the attack was sophisticated and coordination was flawless. Experts familiar with the situation said it was also a case of Israeli intelligence failure, which boasts some of the world's best spies, tactics, and technology. At first, Hamas fired hundreds of rockets in a short space of time to beat Israel's Iron Dome anti-missile system. Then, fighters, some on paragliders and others on motorcycles, swept in from Gaza, smashing through the heavily fortified border fence at 7 places. They bulldozed concrete walls and cut through barbed wire to enter Israeli territory. How did Israel react to the raids? Israel was clearly caught off guard. Just hours into the attack, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared war and warned its adversaries to be ready for a long fight. Israel told residents in Gaza to leave their homes before revenge strikes. The Israeli Air Force launched widespread air attacks on targets in Gaza. Hundreds of casualties were reported among Palestinians as buildings were razed to the ground. Israeli defense authorities said half a dozen command centers of Hamas were destroyed. What's behind the unusual high casualties? The attacks were timed to coincide with a major Jewish holiday week when Israelis were at home, at places of worship, or out meeting friends. After seizing territory inside Israel, the militants opened fire randomly. At least 260 people were killed at the site of the popular Supernova music festival alone in southern Israel. The attacks also left a long trail of vehicles destroyed by a barrage of rockets. Who could have helped Hamas in this stunning operation? Hamas has said it received help from Iran in carrying out the attacks. Although Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi expressed support for the militants, Tehran denied any involvement in the raids. Iran, which is Israel's arch-rival, is known to be a key backer of Hamas. How did the US react to the raids? The US has said several of its citizens were killed in the attacks, and it was moving a naval flotilla to the eastern Mediterranean to help Israel deal with the situation. The Americans also promised more military hardware and ammunition for Israel. What is Hamas and what is it fighting for? Hamas is a Palestinian movement headed by Ismail Haniyeh. It was started in 1987 as an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt to pursue an armed struggle against Israel with the aim of liberating occupied historic Palestine. Hamas controls the Gaza Strip, which was seized and occupied by Israel in 1967. It is designated as a terrorist group by Israel, the United States, the European Union, and the UK, as well as other powers. Hamas is backed by Iran.